name's Julie and thank you so much for joining me today. In this video I'm sharing a simple 3-step planning guide to help you create plans that are both decorative and functional. This is the third video in the series, but don't worry if you haven't seen the other two because I'm going to give a very quick recap. This video is aimed at those of you using a classic or a big vertical happy planner, which looks like this, and we're using the fact that it's organised into 3 rows to help us plan in a really short space of time. So even if you're not a newer planner, but just someone who leads a busy life, you may find some of these tips useful. I've called my steps BCD because that's easy to remember, B for boxes, C for checklists, and D for decoration. In the first video, I made a floral spread because florals are very popular in the planning community. I kept it really simple, as you can see, with boxes along the top, checklists using the checklist stencil in the middle, and decoration using some floral stickers at the bottom. In that video, I also gave some tips on ways to draw your own boxes and how to fill up your planner if you're left with some boxes you don't need to use. In the second video, I moved the boxes to the bottom and showed you how you can vary the sizes of the boxes just for a little bit of difference. Then I used the checklist strips, which are popular in many of the Happy Planner sticker books. And for the decoration, I used washi tape to section off the middle area and used alphabet stickers to spell out a word, which is another popular thing that planners do. I also added tiny little icons to decorate the whole middle section. As in the first video, I showed how you could achieve exactly the same effect without any stickers, just in case you're in a position where you haven't got any. This is going to be the last time that I assign one element to each of the 3 rows without mixing anything up. And for my second spread, instead of doing a spread without stickers, I'm going to show you how you can bring in some scrapbook paper. The theme for this spread is going to be pink and black, which is a really popular colour combination for planner spreads. And I'm going to be using decorative boxes in this spread. These are in all Happy Planner sticker books. I'm finding that I don't use them very often, so this is a good chance for me today to experiment with using them in a spread. Let's get started with B for boxes. And I'm going to do what I did last time, keep all the boxes on the same row. But this time, instead of putting one box in each space, I am going to do a little bit of layering. Now you may well be like me. When I first started planning, I wanted to keep all the boxes in the boxes and I didn't do any layering. But now, several years later, I'm much more comfortable with layering. But I'm not going to do anything too adventurous. I'm just going to put a couple of black boxes down here. And then a little tip that you might want to follow is when you're using a very dark colour, you might want to white out the part that's going to be overlapped because, oh, my thing has run out, because it might show underneath. You don't have to do this. As I say, I am trying to keep this simple, but because I'm using a pink box, this might show through. So I'm just going to cover it up with some whiteout. I'm using a Tipp-Ex mini pocket mouse, but I would recommend the Tombow correction tape. And now I'm going to place a pink box over here. So you can see it's very minimal layering. They just look like they're peeping from behind the pink box. And I'll do something really similar on the other side. The idea behind this is that if you have a box on every day, then you have room to write something, whether it's an appointment or extra to-dos that don't fit onto the checklist, memory keeping, whatever it is you may want to record. I just need 2 more pink boxes now. This one you can turn into a box for Friday and Saturday by drawing a line down the middle if you want. But I'm going to leave it as it is for now. So when I'm deciding where to place my stickers, I look at where I've placed them on the opposite page, and because I've got that one up high, this one's going to go down low. So again, I will just white out some of the line. remember, as I say, you don't have to do that. I'm just making suggestions. It's your planner. These are all just ideas you may want to use. I've also used different size boxes. That's something else that brings a little bit of variety. A little bit more complicated than part 1 and part 2, but still you're getting those boxes down in less than 5 minutes. On to C for checklists. In video 1 I use the checklist stencil, and in video 2 I use the checklist strips, and in this video I'm just going to use the tiny bullet point stickers. These are in most of the Happy Planner books, and you can fit in as many as you like. So if you don't have as many to-dos, you could use 2 or 3, or you could even fit 5 or 6. Sometimes they are really tiny. This one is quite a large one. It's from a Clever Plan sticker book. So I'm actually going to show you something else you can do with the bullet point stickers when they are this large. But this is not if you want to be really quick. I often cut them in half when they're big circles. I quite like the way they look. The other tip I can give you with these bullet points is you can actually, rather than put them on this side, if you put them in the middle, then you can write your to-dos on both sides. I'm not going to make you watch me put all the bullet points down, so I'll be right back when that's done. I've added the bullet points across the bottom. I really like how that looks, but remember, if you want a really quick spread, it's much easier to just put these circles down, or even to do as I suggest and put them in the middle of the sections. I realised I had forgotten to put a box in the sidebar, so I also added that. It's all looking really functional at the moment, so now it needs the D for decoration. I've just searched in my sticker books for some quotes that are black, pink or a touch of gold to go with the spread. And then also some decorative boxes that don't have any words on. Now the simplest thing to do would be to put one box in each of the spaces, and what I would do is have a blank box, a quote, blank box, quote, blank box, quote, blank box, so that there's a little bit of a pattern going on. That's only because I like things very ordered and structured. You may not mind if it's all quotes all the way along or just the stickers all jumbled up. But instead of doing that, I am going to change it up a little bit because I'm trying to show different levels of difficulty, just so that the spread looks a little bit more interesting at the end. It's going to look fine if I did put a sticker in each box, but I'm going to change it up. Because I've got this pink box here, I've chosen the darker quote to go underneath it rather than one of the pinker quotes. I may also be bringing in some washi. We'll put this one here, and part of me would prefer that the third quote had gold foil as these two have, but we're going to let that go and put the final quote here. Now what I'm going to do is cut these boxes in half. It's not going to be a disaster if it's not exactly half. And because I've got stripes over here, I'll put this stripy one on this side, I think. And then the other one up here. And then I'm just going to mix and match the halves. Actually, I think just have that the other way. And then some on this side for balance. I've never done this before, so I'm quite pleased to be trying out something new. the last two. And then if you have got one of the really thin washi tapes, that would be ideal, just to section off this area. I think it looks perfectly fine left as it is, but just want to define it a little bit more. Actually, I think I found one that I like better. I don't plan these videos out ahead, so that's why I might change my mind. Got this one that's got gold in, and we've obviously got the gold foil in some of the stickers, so I thought this one might look better. I actually think it looks fine without, so I possibly should have left it, but I don't know why that's not sticking. Sometimes when you've had washies a long time, they do lose their stickiness. Let me know in the comments what you think. Would you have added the washi or just left it the way it was? Anyway, you get the idea with the washi. So really all that's left is this area here, and you can usually get the square decorative boxes, so I'll see if I can find one that fits in with the colour scheme. Got this Kindness is Magic, which has got a little touch of the pink. I'll put that down here, and I can see the washi is trying to jump off, so I'll just have to take that off there. Maybe I'll just have the washi at the bottom and not at the top, and that will solve my indecision about whether to use it or not. I've half used it. Another thing I did think that I could do with the washi, but not today because I'm keeping this simple, was to actually take it around the boxes and box all the individual boxes off, but I'm not going to do that now. Just to jazz the boxes up a little bit. You'll find lots of these headers again in the Happy Planner sticker book. So I've just got today's plan there. And get it done, whatever that is going to be. Note to self and focus on you. I'm hoping this isn't too much of a jump from last time's spread. You've still got the boxes all in a row, the decoration in a row, and the checklist all in a row. But hopefully I've shown how you can keep it simple or make it that tiny little bit more complicated, depending on how much time you've got. Let's do the second spread. So in the spirit of showing you that you do not need all the things, I've drawn in boxes across the top row and in the sidebar using the stitched effect that I showed in my first video. And I just took the same Crayola super tips to make the checklists. If you don't have any scrapbook paper, then you could just do this and add stickers across the middle. But I wanted to show you something different if you do have a scrapbook stash. I basically looked through my scrapbooking supplies for something either black or this peachy pink colour that had a bold pattern. And I decided to go with this one. Then I cut my scrapbook paper into 2 strips. The centre strip is 2.5 inches wide, and if you're just keeping it within the boxes, it's 6 inches on this side of the page. And we'll put it in the box here, should fit. it's 4.5 inches on the other side. Just using some tape runner. And it's as simple as that, just to add that touch of decoration to your spread. I think in this case I definitely would use some washi tape to section the decorative part off. So I'm just going to use this black washi here. And you can just leave it completely plain like that. But something you can also do if you find you haven't got enough room to write on this spread, although there is plenty of room for function, you can add boxes on top of the scrapbook paper. So here's how it looks with the washi. Again, up to you whether you do that or not. I think it looks good either way. And there you have an extremely simple spread, but really pretty and functional. And this is very adaptable for making seasonal spreads. For example, if it's fall, you might have some scrapbook paper with pumpkins on, or autumn leaves. I know I've got that in my collection, so you could definitely put that across the middle. If you've got Christmas designs or Easter, then just a strip of paper across the middle and your spread is more or less done. So I do hope you've picked up something from watching this video, something to help you with your planning, whether you're a new planner or have been planning for some time. The fun thing about planning is I find you never stop learning. I'm always picking up new tips and tricks from other planners, and I like that. And I really like trying out new things. I really love this spread. If I didn't have my spreads already planned out as to what stickers I'm using, I might well use this spread, but it will go in my spare spread stash, and I may well use it when I haven't got time to make a spread. If you've enjoyed this video, do like, comment and subscribe to my channel. And keep an eye out for part 4, where we'll still be using the BCD approach, but mixing it up a little bit more, making it a little bit more complicated. Have fun with your planning, and I look forward to seeing you next time.